everyone, and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom, or Kay from Millennial Mom. Now, with every video, if you have already joined the family, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Like this video, leave your comments so I know what you thought about these couples, and tell a friend to tell a friend that, hey, over here, Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom does the 90-day franchise, all of them, including the tell-alls. Did you catch the part 1 and 2 of the finale of the 90-day tell-all? If not, check it out in our video history and subscribe, join today. All right, so let's get started. Today we're going to talk about 90 Day, The Last Resort, Season 1, Episode 8, One Last Secret. Now, who do you think this secret was with? Because the secret that I think it was from, I don't really think it was a secret. I just think that maybe he was trying to, I don't know, one up the guys, I'm guessing, but you let me know. Or do you think it was Kalani telling more secrets when it came to Asuelu? So for me, it was like maybe 1 or 2 people on the show that had some secrets. Okay. So when we pick back up with the couples, it's a new day of therapy and an activity. So first, there's some quick scenes. We have Liz asking Ed if the blue pills he's taking is his Viagra. I'm like, do we need to know if it is or isn't? I mean, it's early in the morning. Maybe they want to get it in early. I mean, I don't know how long it lasts a day, but that's what she asked him. Jovi and Yara talking about the sex therapy that they had received the night before from the therapist. Jovi said they have trust issues in the bedroom, and that also leads to additional problems with the intimacy. So he did say it was something that they're working past, and we saw a snippet of, like, they had whiteboards of the top 5 things that they would like to have in the bedroom from their partner. And Jovi pretty much said he wanted pizza, beer, and something going on in another regions from Yara. I'm like, okay, maybe that's why there's problems in the bedroom, because Yara wants a little bit more, that she wants something else returned. But just my opinion and observation about what they were talking about. All right, so let's get started with Angela and Michael, because they didn't have too much of a scene, so I just broke it down from what I observed. So Angela is modeling swimsuits for Michael to see what he likes, so that when it comes time for them to have their beach date, she'll have on what he wants to see, and they have their little time together on while he's on the video call. So not only is she modeling for Michael, us the viewer had to see that as well. And I'm like, we don't need to see Angela model bathing suits. We just had an episode a couple of weeks ago with the lingerie, and that was a little bit much, at least for me. I mean, am I the only one here? But moving on. So they seem to have I'm going to say decent connection this time with this episode because their anniversary is coming up and they want to celebrate and be in the proper mind space and, be lovey-dovey together for as much as they can, even though it's long distance. So now it's the next day, and Angela is dressing up in the outfit of choice that Michael said that he enjoyed. And then also she puts on a ponytail hairpiece that has braids wrapped around it. And then also, she is just feeling herself, and she is wanting Michael to see everything that she's bringing, and that she can't wait to get back to Michael. She's giving us a little bit TMI in the meantime. I'm not going to fill you in on it. Hopefully you saw it for yourself. So Angela now has Michael on the video call. She's walking to the beach. When he comes on, she's like, yeah, baby, I have the hair on that you like, just like the ladies in Nigeria. I'm like, Angela, you don't have to. Now, if this is offensive to y'all, I'm sorry, but you don't have to cultural appropriate what the ladies in Nigeria has. He clearly likes you for you. You don't have to do all of that, just say, do you like what I have on? Am I reading too much into that? I don't know. Maybe because I don't really care for Angela. I'm not a fan. Okay. But moving on. So when Angela shows Michael the dress, she's turning her around. She's like, "Oh, you like it, baby?" Why did Shady Production get a shot of Angela when she was turning her around about the Spanx and things that she had on underneath her garments? Did I say garments? That was a garment underneath her dress. I'm like, shady, shady, shady production. So she's happy to have a heart-to-heart talk, and they're being romantic in the conversation. And Angela says that she feels that therapy is really helping them with techniques of communication. So good for them. For today, for this episode, they're on the same page. And to be honest, as the episode has progressed, the season, they've had decent conversation. I don't think they got into it that much, but you know how this couple works if you've been following the 90-day franchise. I mean, it's a constant back and forth bickering about every little thing they can find. Okay, so moving to Ed and Liz. Ed says in confessional that even though they started on the right foot and therapy has made a difference, he made plans for him and Liz to go off the island for another activity. I was like, okay, Ed, trying to do something a little romantic. So they get to wherever they go. I didn't hear exactly where they said they went, but wherever the location was, it was a place where maybe they rehab sharks or shark habitat or something, because this is something that Liz likes to do. Ed says he's scared of sharks, bees. What else do you say? Sharks, bees, snakes, alligators, and spiders. He said this activity was strictly for Liz. And I'm like, okay, Ed, okay. Well, that's nice that you did the shark thing for her. But I mean, you scared of all, you can even like participate at all, but whatever. I get that was a nice outing for them. Now, after the activity, Ed and Liz start talking, and they're saying how they've learned from the process and how they feel like they're getting along with therapy, but yet there's still things to work on. And that, again, is communication. I do believe for the couples here on this show that communication is one of the top reasons of why they're on the show. Not everything, but the top reason. And just a little off topic, I think communication is the basis for any relationship, whether you're together in one or not. Okay, so while they're talking, Ed says to Liz, you know what? I don't want to keep anything from you. I've learned a lot. I have something to tell you. And so then proceeds to say that the men didn't want me to say anything to you, but I'm going to tell you because I don't want to get in trouble. Then he tells Liz, that the guys had planned to go to a strip club, but not to tell the ladies. And he said, you know what? I'm 57. I've seen enough boobs in my life. Matter of fact, I like your boobs, Liz. And I don't feel like that's what I need to do. And Liz said, you what? Now I'm really pissed off at the guys, because why would they want you to keep that from me? It's not that they want to keep it from you, Liz. They just didn't want the ladies to know. Like a guy's night, like the ladies had the lingerie party. That was cool. So the guys, they couldn't choose to go to strip club, even though it was Jovi's idea. But it was still the activity that they wanted to do. And they invited Ed as a last minute guest anyway, because they know how he is. And look what happened. So Liz says that she feels that a little weird because now she's in a position where she's pissed off at the guys, but now she knows the information. Should she tell the ladies? I don't know. My bet's on she's going to tell the ladies anyways, Ed told her she's going to be the bearer of the information to the ladies. I know, but maybe not. We'll have to see as it goes off. So with that information that Ed said about the guys going to strip club and don't say anything, Liz looked at Ed and said, you know what? Right now, you've earned my trust. You've earned my trust, Ed. And thank you for working on a relationship. I was like, okay, if that's all it took, because they've been broke up 11 times, but if that's what it took, all right, kudos to them. Now, moving on to Kalani and Asuelu. When they are out today, they're out meeting the therapist, also with Kalani's sister. So to relieve tension and things like that. Now, in confessional, Kalani says that she admits she tells her sister too much. Kalani says she's mad at Asuelu for hurting her sister, and that she would be willing to move forward with Asuelu if that's what Kalani wants. The therapists have Kalani Kalani and Asuelu play a game, the big game of Jenga, not the table version, but the yard version of Jenga, to see if they get the point of the actual game about building trust and not letting the blocks go over and just, keep getting higher and higher. But once the blocks tumble down, the therapist then takes the couples, sit down, the couple plus Kalani, and sit down and ask them what they've learned. And so, about the trust, and they all got it, about how the game works and how it may reflect them. The therapist wanted them to see that, even though blocks tumble down, that they can get built back up, and that's trust. You build up trust a little bit at a time until you get to the trust level you want. But if trust is broken, it tumbles back down. You have to start back over. So when the therapist starts with Kalani, she said that her and Asuelu haven't talked too much on this trip. Kalani chimed in and said that her sister is a kind person and gives people options to show them who they are, and that her sister helped her numerous times get over Asuelu cheating. Kalani said the reason why she doesn't like Asuelu is watching how much he hurt her sister. He did a lot to her, and that's the worst heartbreak. She wouldn't wish it on anybody, but especially not her sister. Then Kalani said the first time that she figured out Asuelu was cheating, she was already pregnant with her first son, and Asuelu was getting ready to move to America. Kalani said she wanted to keep the peace within her family, especially her dad. Now, if you've seen their season and the dad, he wasn't here for Asuelu. Kalani and Kalani's dad gave Asuelu, when he came to town, a good heart-to-heart, man-to-man conversation, not just in Samoan, but just like, I'm your elder, you need to do right by my daughter. So I understand what Kalani was saying because I saw their season. And so Kalani said that when Asuelu came to America, she was hoping that the cultural difference between America and Samoa, that Asuelu will change, because in Asuelu, it is okay for a man, married or not, to pursue other women and relationships, this and that. So, it sounds like that, cheating is accepted. And when it came to Asuelu, he didn't deny that. He got emotional, and he said that he knows he's the issue, and he's really trying to work on it to save his marriage. Now, Kalani said that Asuelu cheated on her about 10 to 12 times, and then she broke down in tears. And, I don't blame her. That's a lot to take in. It is. You gave yourself to your first love. You waited 28, 29 years when she first met Asuelu, had a baby, was pregnant. He was already cheating. He was cheating there in Samoa. He was cheating when he got to America. So 10 to 12 times that she can count and verify that he cheated. So she did tell Asuelu that she still has love for him, even though they're not together, and she's not really sure where things go. But as far as the co-parenting relationship and the kids, she said, I will never keep you away from the kids, and let him know it's okay to come by to see the kids, but between us, I don't really know about that. So, but the therapist said after Asuelu broke down and said that he was the issue, he knew about it, and he wanted to save the marriage, the therapist in confessional said that she feels that maybe Asuelu is exhibiting signs of having a sex addiction. That's her suspicion. Now, the therapist also asked Asuelu, what do you think about what Kalani said? What do you think about Kalani said? And again, he said, everything is true, is on me, and I hope that they can forgive me. So Kalani isn't really buying this. She's hurt for her sister. She's also emotionally crying. Kalani says that Asuelu does this every single time that he's called out, and that his efforts get pushed to the side because he's constantly doing different little things. Matter of fact, Kalani said that Asuelu has been finding these ladies online. So he's looking for ladies online, as if Kalani doesn't know what he's doing. So, that one last secret title that this had, there was a bunch of little secrets come out with this too. All right, let's move to Molly and Kelly. So finally, they're meeting back up with their therapist again to see if any assignments they were given, were they able to do the yoga activity to get intimacy and balance, and just to follow up to see how things are going in general. Now, nothing was resolved. In confessional, Molly says, despite what Kelly thinks, she loved him and she's not in love with him, and feels like the counseling session is and has been beneficial to them both. The therapist asked Kelly first, where does he think that the relationship is now? Kelly said, they're not on the same page. It's not the same energy. This is not the type of relationship he wants, and he's not sure if Molly is even there in the relationship to move forward. Molly says, I don't know what Kelly wants from me. We had a plan. It's not what I thought. She says, I am in the prime of my career. She goes on to say how Kelly, I apologize. How Kelly had so much ambition coming from New York before he moved to Georgia. But when he got to Georgia, he came up in her house, gonna talk about, you know what, you have to go out to work. I'm retired, so I'm gonna do what I want to do. Basically, what Molly has been saying the whole season of The Last Resort is that Kelly feels like he needed to be catered to by her, and Molly isn't seeing any ambition that Kelly had. She said originally he was showing her pictures of houses they can buy and just the vacations and different little things, and none of that panned out. So it's been a lot of back and forth this whole season. Kelly said that Molly didn't hold on to him in a relationship. The therapist asked about the previous conversations that they've had, and it was just, again, no resolve. So when it came down to the time of, do you think this relationship is over? Do you think it's run its course? Kelly said yes. He's showed his emotions. He's never showed his emotions like this before. He said he's never cried behind a lady before. And for Molly, he did, and he's tired. He's not doing it anymore. And so he gets up and he walks away. And so the therapist says to Molly, is there anything that you would work on in a relationship? She said, no, nothing. And then she said she was fine and she will always be fine and go forward. But one thing I forgot to mention, the therapist put it out there to both of them, that he offered individual therapy if they chose to move forward. So Kelly didn't say anything, but when Kelly got up to leave and she was still sitting there by herself, Molly told the therapist, well, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. So maybe Molly will start to have a little one-on-one to get through whatever she needs to get through. Now, when we see Kelly next, he is back in his room. He's packing his luggage. And he said this relationship never had a chance. It never stood a chance. And he didn't feel like Molly was being real. I kind of have to say, with this last resort, I don't think she put in as much effort either. I just think she was already checked out and was just going through the motions. I also think Kalani is going through the motions as well to make sure she's done everything that's left on the table so that they can move forward. Now, surprise, surprise, while Kelly is packing and talking to the confessional, here comes Molly over to his room, crying and just like standing there saying, is there anything I could help you with? I just want you to know that I loved you. I'm not in love with you. I wish this could have went further. And, I don't want you to hate me and I don't want you to be angry at me. Kelly said he's not angry and I don't hate you. So Molly asked him, well, do you think I can walk you out at least? Kelly said, yeah, you can walk me out, but it's not the same as walking down the aisle. But hey, that's something for another day. Now, Molly, with her showing this emotional part of her, even though it's being showed late, at least she took the time and effort. I mean, I'll give her a little credit, a little bit of kudos to come to Kelly, to his room, to apologize and say what she had to say, because she didn't have to. She still could have carried on and carried around all that those feelings she had on the inside, and he would have never known. So Kelly gets his luggage and off to the sunset he goes. So, all right, everyone, that was it of the episode. Still to come on The Last Resort. Jovi's mom is on a video call in a therapy session with Jovi and Yara. And Jovi and Yara's mom, well, Jovi's mom and Yara haven't had the best relationship. I don't know what she is doing in the therapy this time. We'll have to see if Jovi is being honest, because there's something his mother said was, you're not being honest about telling Yara in the therapy session. So who knows? Was it about the strip club? I don't know. And then we have Molly goes back to the group still in the evening to tell them that Kelly has left the resort. And they're like, what? He left for real? And so we'll see how she gives the explanation on that. And then we have Asuelu talking to confessional saying, or to producers, that he tried to contact Kalani and he feels like something is right because he can't find her and she's not answering. And then when we see Kalani, she's talking with her sister Kalani and says that, Kalani's telling Kalani, that's a tongue twister. Kalani is telling Kalani that she needs to come clean and tell Asuelu. So I believe this is the episode, at least the first part of it, leading to where Kalani's hall pass is come to visit. Now, how does the hall pass know? Well, she probably told the hall pass that that's where she was going to the last resort. But you know what you're going to the last resort for, right? So like I said, Kalani's also going through the motions, but that's a cold piece of work that Kalani was like, yeah, come through. So we'll see how this plays out. I know I'm looking forward to it. So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share. And until next time, everyone, live simply, be grateful.